My name's John and this is my shed converted into a little bar. What's it called? It's called A Different Corner. The reason it's called A Different Corner is because I'm a bit of a George Michael fan, a Wham fan from the 80s, and then a George Michael fan when he went solo. And a few years back when I built this and finished it off, I was thinking of a name, and everyone had lockdown bars, this bar, that bar, etc. The usual names. A Different Corner was apt. It's in the corner of the garden. It's named after a George Michael single called A Different Corner, one of my all-time favourite tracks. The tune's fantastic, very, very basic, but fantastic lyrics, brilliant little song. If you've never heard it, you must play it. So it's called A Different Corner in tribute to George. Hope that answers your question. Next question. How did it all start? Well, it all started many, many years ago. I originally moved into this house, and when we had the cash, we bought this shed, come log cabin type thing. So it's quite a large shed. It was originally going to be, the kids were little, it was originally going to be their little playroom, playhouse, etc. But as I've said in some of my other videos on YouTube, if you leave a shed empty for too long, it becomes a dumping ground, and it actually became a dumping ground. I had a pool table in here years ago, and some kids' toys. Then it became a bit of a dumping ground. At one point, if I get a chance to put some photographs up, I think I did put some photographs up years ago of the mess and the conversion of it. But at one point, it was solid. You couldn't get out that door. It was solid. Then the roof started leaking. Me being a bit of a lazy bugger, the garden was a mess. There was weeds everywhere. The roof started leaking, ruined everything inside of it. All the camping gear, all the pool table, everything we had stored in here. We had to dump the whole lot and start again. So it was a standing joke when my dad and a couple of his mates were alive down the pub. It was a standing joke that I was going to convert this to a little pub. That's before sort of little garden pubs existed. There wasn't much internet about. I'm talking quite a few years back now. There was no sort of no real such thing as little bars in your garden. No one really had pumps and little beer machines in their sheds really. So I was one of the first. I'm not being, not saying I am the first, but I'm sure there's many people who did it years ago. But I was one of the people sort of built it years ago before it became fashionable. And it was a standing joke down the pub between my dad and his mates. Now I'm never going to do it. Every time I went down for a week for a beer. You done that yet, Dad? Son, you done it yet, son? Many years later, I'd say we're in 2023 now, so about 3 or 4 years ago my father passed away during COVID, and for some reason I'd started doing it. What I'd done years prior to that, I collected a load of bit of memorabilia, so if you're going to build one of these yourself, what I did was I was out and about on different holidays. Before this even started being created, I was out and about on different holidays, and I basically started collecting memorabilia. It's got a little bit more expensive now, but the signs on Amazon at the time were cheap, like 99p, a couple of quid each. They've gone up in price now. Beer pumps were a bit cheaper. A couple of pubs were shutting down. I bought me beer pumps, and that's another story. So what I did, I went on holiday. If you see behind me, I've got some memorabilia bits, like bits and cigars and bits and pieces. So whenever you go on holiday, my advice to you is whenever you go on holiday, grab some bits and pieces of memorabilia, store it. So basically I had a shell full of memorabilia and rubbish. So eventually, when my father passed away, for some reason it spurred me on to finish it off. Sort of like a tribute to him, I suppose. I don't know. I had a bit of spare time when I was sort of off work for a bit, shall we say. So yeah, I got a couple of skips, cleared it out, and made a massive big effort until it's finished. Got all the wood around it, all the trims, LED lights on Amazon, really cheap. So a couple of old leftover TVs and some fridges and that. So I made a big effort, finished it off. Scaffold boards and that. I must admit, since COVID, since everyone sort of jumped on a bandwagon, or everyone's building these sheds, prices unfortunately have shot through the roof for a little bit. I was sitting in a pub just as I was about to do this little shed, and a local pub of mine, nothing to do with COVID, just as COVID was about to hit, coincidentally a local pub of mine, or club, I knew the two of them that ran it, and they shut the place down. They had some bar stuff. I mean, they've got a lovely pump here, beer engine. I've given one away since then in the competition on YouTube. But I wish I bought the whole lot. They stripped out that bar. They sold loads of different bits and pieces, and I got in there quick and bought a few bits. I wish I bought more now, but I bought some lovely bits and pieces, and the signs on my right there. But I wish I bought more now. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? But yeah. Anyway, that's the story. So it's sort of like my dad passed away, and it spurred me on to finish it off. So I've finished it off now. It's pretty much done. It's full of memorabilia and bits and pieces, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Best thing about having your own little pub shed? The beer. No, seriously, best thing about having a pub shed, well, my little pub shed. Oh, sorry, yeah, the question is, what's the best thing I like about my little pub shed? The best thing I like about my little pub shed in particular, there's a few little things. I've got some nice lights outside in the garden. I've got my lights on Alexa, so Alexa, turn off ceiling.
Okay.
That should work. Alexa, turn off strip light.
Okay.
Alexa, turn off bar.
Okay.
Alexa, turn on bar.
Okay.
Alexa, turn on pub.
Okay.
Sorry if you got Alexa, I'll try and blank that out, but what I've done with my little bar is not completely, I've got a little bit, I'm just looking now, I've got some painting to do, window trim actually, never did get around to doing that, but my garden lights around the top, the apex of the shed outside. I've got two up and down lights outside, which I've got from Screwfix, but I've got special bulbs in there, Alexa, like Wi-Fi enabled bulbs. The ceiling bulbs, the Alexa enabled bulbs. The lighting, the LED lighting around the outside edge here is either plugged into an Alexa plug. Same as the bulbs for behind the bar. So what I've done, I've named them separate with Alexa and Amazon, etc. I'm not sure if you're aware, but you can have like a file, a bit like a PC computer's file hierarchy system, like an umbrella system. So I've got the strip lights on their own. I've got the lights outside on their own. I've got the wall lights on their own. I've got the bar lights on their own. All the lights are separate, but also they're under the umbrella of pub. So if I turn the, say, Alexa turn off pub, Alexa turn on pub, it does the whole lot in one hit. Luckily it didn't hit me then. Or I can do it individually, so I can say so and so turn on garden, and all the garden lights will come on. So it looks great in the evening. It's great. So that's one of the features I quite like about my little bar. Obviously I've got the perfect draft machine. I'll show you around in a minute, because one of the questions that someone asked me in the list of questions I was given before I did this interview, one of the questions I was asked is well, they want a little tour. I've done other video tours, but they want to know a little tour, the latest tour. I've not ordered it for quite a while, Danny, though, so I'll do a tour in a minute. What beer systems do I use? The beer systems that I use are three main systems I use down, or four, let's call it four. I've got the perfect draft machine, which I'll show you in a minute. You've probably all heard or seen one of them. I absolutely love my perfect draft machine. A little bit expensive for the beers, but they work out about £3 odd a pint, I suppose. £2.50 a pint, you get money back, etc. I've done a lot of videos on them before. They do deals, they do short date beers, etc. Very, very handy to have on board. I've got my beer engine. I said earlier, I think in this video, I bought two beer engines years ago, and I've raffled one off, or gave one away in a prize. I've got one there, beer engine, which I've refurbed. I've got videos, if you look through my playlist, on refurbing them. That's connected, not at the moment, but I can connect that up to a beer in a bag, which I do on a regular basis. I put that in the fridge. I've got a video, if you check the playlist. At the end of this video, you'll see a playlist. I put the beer in a bag in the fridge, and I've got a Wi-Fi enabled Inkbird, which heats it up and cools it down, etc. Keeps it at a set temperature. So that's handy. And also when I do homebrew, but I've not done homebrew for ages. So I'll do beer in a bag on the beer engine in the middle there. And on my left, or your right there, you'll see the U-Flow faucets. But there are other taps available, faucets available, and a keg. Let me just grab the keg a minute. So I've got that keg there. I think it's a 10 litre keg, which I fill up with beer or homebrew, whatever I want, and I can put that into the fridge. That just fits into the fridge. That one I fill it up with booze, and I've got a little gas canister, CO2 gas cartridge that goes on there. The beer line comes out the top, goes through to the faucet, which pulls through, so you can have any beer you want in that, or other bits and pieces. So I've got three systems there: perfect draft machine, the beer engine, beer in a bag, which I used to be in a bag, and the U-Flow keg. But you can get other keg systems available. Kegland and other companies do them. But U-Flow are pretty good. They've always got deals on, a lot of these people. And I bought this as a complete kit, that one. So that's the beer systems that I use. And I've got two fridges. So I mentioned four systems, didn't I? I've got two fridges. One fridge is the empty fridge for this keg, beer in a bag, or at the moment I've got a perfect draft keg in there at the moment, keeping cool. And I've got an old fridge, an old beer fridge that I bought years and years ago for £1, believe it or not, off eBay or Facebook Marketplace. I think it was eBay. I kept the receipt of that just because I thought it was a bit of fun. I bought it off someone in Essex. They moved into a flat, getting all the gear. I bidded on this fridge. This is before COVID, as I said, before fridges and everything's gone through the roof. He wanted to get rid of this fridge, so I bought it for £1 off this guy. And I felt a bit embarrassed that I actually gave him £1 when I picked it up. It's probably not the most efficient fridge in the world, but it's a glass fronted fridge. Try something out with a few beers. It's probably not the most efficient fridge in the world because it's quite old, but it's a glass fronted fridge. And I keep all my beers in that, which is switched on at the moment. The other fridge, this one is not switched on because I'm using the perfect draft machine. So yeah, I'll show you around in a minute because someone messaged me and said they want a little tour, so I'll have a little look in a minute. Let's put this back. How often do I use this place? Once, twice a week, every week. I wander down here. In the winter I wander down here, put the heating on, chill out and watch a bit of TV, watch football, watch the sports. In the summer I have the doors open, 1 or 2 doors open to the place. I come down, have a nice cold beer after work. I love it. I don't use it all the time. The tellies are not always on all the time. My grandson absolutely loves coming down at the moment for some reason. He plays about here because we've got karaoke set up down here. I plugged the microphone into the speaker. I'll show that in a minute, and he loves it. He absolutely loves it. So thank you for that question. So someone messaged me and asked me about heating. I've got a standard plug-in heater down here. I'm not sure you can see that. Let me lift that up. Okay, it's a bit heavy. I think it's a DeLonghi. I think it's an oil-filled radiator. A longer one's really, really good. I did have a gas one years ago. I think I did a video on that. I bought a gas one years ago, the gas bottle. In the old days, during COVID, when we used to do some lives, YouTube lives, and a few of us were having a few too many drinks, I sort of found myself falling asleep a little bit. I thought, although it's a modern gas heater with a gas bottle, it had some safety features, like if it tripped out, it would cut the gas off. If it fell over, it would cut the gas off. I wasn't happy with it. I was getting a lot of condensation here, too much heat. That's fine. I'm well happy with that. And what I do, I don't often use it, to be honest with you. The place is insulated. It's not that big. I've got so much memorabilia around here. You'd be surprised, even in the coldest winter days, it's not too bad in here. I just flick that heater on every now and again. I've got a spare Alexa plug up there. I normally plug it in. I've got that called a pub heater. So I normally ask Alexa to switch that on and off. So if I forget to leave it off, I forget to switch it off or whatever, I can switch it off from indoors on the app or on the like verbally, you know. So thank you. Next question. Beer break. Oh, right. It's getting warm in here. Let's open the door. So essentially, this is an old shed. Well, it's not an old shed. It's a log cabin. Come shed. It's got like half logs. It's sort of like 2 bolted together basically, but you'll see in the clips at the beginning of this video the double doors. It was a single door in there. I got some double doors off a builder that demolished a conservatory, a hardwood conservatory years ago, and he was selling his double doors for 50 quid. So I shot down in my motor, whacked the double doors in. Again, I had them stored for about a year before I used them. Cut the opening out, put a bit of timber across, took 1 door out, put 2 double doors in. Nice double glazed, big lumps of doors. I had to trim them down on the top, but they work a treat to make it look really nice outside and inside. A lot more light coming through. So it's sort of, once I put those doors in, it sort of went from a shed to a pub type place really, with a Wi-Fi sticker in the window. So that looks good. Next question. Would I change anything? If I had a wider garden, I'd have it running this way and not long ways. If you'll see the clips of the video, at the beginning of this video, you'll see that it's running that way, not that way. We had to keep a tree in the back there for privacy purposes. I'd like to have a toilet down here. If I had a bigger, I'd like to make it bigger. I'd have it bigger, wider, posher. I'd have maybe a shed built on the side of it for storage, and I'd have a toilet. I'd try to have a toilet then, I think. It is what it is. I've got what I've got, haven't I? So this is what I've got. I'm not going to move anytime soon to a larger garden. I'm not going to lay any more money at my age to do another one of these, I don't think. So I'm happy with what I got. It works. It does the job. Don't use it sort of every single day, you know. So it's good though. I wouldn't be without it. I love it. If I ever moved, I'd do another one definitely. Whether it be smaller, it doesn't bother me. As long as you've got a couple of fridges or a couple of beer machines and some chairs and some seating and some TVs, I'll do the same again. Merchandise. Is merchandise available? Yes, it is. I have a website. I also have an Etsy store where I sell stuff, but primarily I sell my stuff on lifeofjohn.club. I'll put links below. And while we're on the subject of groups and sites, yeah, there's merchandise available. There's t-shirts, hats. If you don't want my logo emblazoned all over your top of your shirt, then don't worry about that. But there's some other bits and pieces there for sale. There's some mugs, Life of John mugs with football teams on them, and there's some flags I'm doing as well. I'm working on. I'm altering the flags. I'm a little bit plain at the moment. The flags. I'm putting some new flags up. While we're on the subject of groups, websites, etc., I've also got a Facebook group. If you want to pop along there, Life of John. We talk about a bit of fishing, bit of pub shed stuff and stuff like that, and bars. There's a few people in there from Canada, America, Japan, etc. We all have a little chat, and also when I do a live, another subject actually, we sort of get together on there as well. So thank you for that question, people. Yes, I have got my merchandise. I just mentioned lives. Someone mentioned, do you do any lives anymore? I think a few people see my YouTube lives. During COVID times, we used to do. That's how sort of this got going, mainly with the videos. During COVID, when we had lockdowns, for some reason I don't know why, I wandered down the pub. I think my dad had passed away. I wandered down my little bar, had a beer, and I'd done a little video, and then someone liked it and said blah blah blah. So I ended up doing his lives, and it became a weekly thing on a Friday. Then it became we've done it twice a week. We've done it twice a week, and it got a bit late because there's a few from Canada and that, obviously on a different time zone. So just as we were sort of going to bed at midnight, they popped on. They were 5 hours behind, so it got a bit mad, a bit manic. Good times though, very very good times. I have done some lives this year, a few, 3 or 4 this year so far, not many. I don't do them weekly anymore. It's a lot of commitment, and not everyone turns up, and you sort of run out of subjects. You got to have people come on, but if you want me to do a live, put a message below, join my Facebook group, put a message below. We will do a live very very soon. A few people have messaged me and asked me to do a live, and it'll be on a Friday evening, I'd imagine, Friday afternoon, Friday evening. And yeah, we will start doing regular lives, maybe once a month. It became a bit too much once a week, twice a week, but that was in the old days of COVID and less work. Now I'm working manic. I'm working sort of indoors. I'm working at my main job, and I'm working doing these videos as well. It's a lot of bloody work, and it was really my sadness, to be honest with you. It got a bit mad. There's a lot of late nights, so if you ever want to watch, look for my playlist, or look for my channel, subscribe, look for the channel, you'll see the lives, and you'll see a few of us falling asleep at our little bars, bless us. We're all grown up now and sensible, so we don't do it anymore. But yeah, we can do some lives if you're interested. Subscribe, and you'll be notified when the lives happen. And if you want to join in a live, or you want us to do a live and a chat, put a message below, comment and get involved, and pop on the Facebook group and mention it. Thank you. Right, thanks for all those questions. Someone messaged me and said, can they have a little tour around? I've done a tour before, but I'm going to take the camera off the tripod and we'll do a little tour. So let's go in, shall we? A different corner. Waltz and all. So we start from the left. I've got videos about all of this stuff, by the way. So, splitter box, HDMI splitter box, 4 ports. All the mess here. So let me just show you first of all. Karaoke machine. And my karaoke gear in there. TV. LED lights around the ceiling. Guitar. Leather jacket with the good old days. Flat screen PC there. That's used as a jukebox, but I don't use it so much anymore. I use my ALEXA thing, and also Bluetooth speakers. Perfect draft machine there. Let's just ignore. Let's go over the back. So we've got oh no, let's do the front first. So the bar here is, that's an old pallet with some old posts with scaffold boards. You'll see that I've used scaffold boards a lot in here. And what I do when people visit, I get them to sign. So when we have the football on, the Euros out, people come around, if I remember, they sign it. These little tea lights, these are good, battery powered. Box of them off Amazon, cheap as you like, with batteries. So perfect draft machine, the old model there. That Guinness thing there, that's a bottle opener, so that's not. There's my beer engine there, which I bought cheap years ago. There's my faucet and tower I spoke about earlier, and the perfect draft mat there. And there's the beer I'm drinking at the moment. Cheers. So, as I say, we're going left to right. Now, these original, I've got Happy Hour sign there. Another TV there, linked to the splitter box back there. Speaker, which is linked to my record player, the vinyl, the record player. Original from a pub, I mentioned earlier, signs, licensing act signs. An old fridge, which also scaffold shelving, an old fridge, currently housing. There you go, there's the keg there, there's an Inkbird, there's a heater at the back there, which is linked to the Inkbird temperature controller there. My old gas heater back there. If you want to know any more about any of this stuff, all the videos are on my list of videos. So my whiskey collection, top shelf there. All this stuff here, the bits and bobs, have been collected over the years from the various holidays. Apart from the whiskies, obviously, I've been collecting them. I get them for presents and stuff, and the decanters, all crystal. Clock which doesn't work. I found that at a bus shelter, fun enough. That's weird. Coming over to the pub one day. That's fate. That's what started it all off. Box of LPs down there. Singles there. Another TV. There's my record player there. Connected to a small amp at the back there. That lemon's got gonna bin. It's out of date, I think. A little amp there. Connected to my speakers. So my little record player there for the old vinyls, which is nice. I think I've got down here USB port from Amazon. That's plugged in underneath, so you can plug your phones into that. A little extra touch here. This is from my poker table, so you put your glass in that. And then these little tea light things, these are good. Alright, a couple of bar stools. Chairs there, I've got cheap. A couple of bar stools I've got there. One bar, I sold one, I sold two actually, I had four, I've only got two now. So I'll bring it out of the way. Memorabilia all on that wall. Bluetooth speaker, I can't remember what they're called now. They're good little speakers, those Bluetooth speakers. The other speaker there for the record player, that's a cabled one, that is wired in that one. This seating here, I've done videos on all this. It's all scaffold board seating. And you can lift that up. The cushions are a company in the UK called Wayfair. Lift the cushions up, lift up the MDF seating underneath, sorry, and there's all storage under there to put all your rubbish. Memorabilia, trophies, cups I've won in the past. Did that recently, bit of a mess. I've got to put another screw here, I think, because sort of part of my Life of John trademark thing is wearing a flat cap or a hat, really, so that's sort of like a character I've sort of created, really. I know it sounds weird, but so I like to keep my hats up there out of the way when I'm wearing a hat. Speaker, I've got a video on that. I may be getting rid of this speaker, I may be getting rid of the karaoke gear to buy something different. Light up the top there, it's not plugged in probably yet. Or maybe getting a new speaker system, all-in-one speaker system. Yeah, I'm not sure, 100% sure yet. So that's a little tour around the bar. I've done many tours before in the past, but those videos are quite old. They might not pop up on your feed if you're a new subscriber. But everything I've mentioned, the seating, the benches, the bar, the record player, the splitter box, everything I've mentioned, and the lighting section, everything I've mentioned, I've got videos about in my playlist. So just hunt through and you'll find them. They're quite old, so you may not have seen them. Facebook group has been going for a couple of years now. There's a few on there. Friendly bunch of people, and as I say, when I do lives, I normally transmit live to YouTube and do the live on Facebook at the same time. Also put notifications on there. Also, if you are on that Facebook group, you can post your photographs of your bars and ideas. I'd love to see them. We'd all love to see them. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. Will I do it all again? Yes, absolutely. I've loved it. I've loved doing this. It's a little bit of a storage here as well. All my memorabilia bits and pieces down here. I really love it. When the football's on, Euros, World Cups, normally have a few people around for barbecue, etc. You've probably all seen the videos before the outside, so I won't show you that again. Would I do it all again? Absolutely. My recommendation is to you, it doesn't matter what size shed you buy, just crack on with it. Insulate it out, get a TV in there, 1 or 2 TVs, get a little bar in there, get a beer machine or beer fridge, and a little bit of a seat in there, somewhere to just sit and chill out. I love it. For some reason, this one in particular has got like an atmosphere. I've been around at people's houses where they've got massive big posh bars, and they're nuts, but I think we all have our own little bars individually. It's just got a nice vibe about it down here. It's just rough and ready. It's not too posh. It's literally built with, apart from the actual building, it's literally built out of like bits of offcuts, wood, scaffold balls, second-hand chairs, second-hand TVs. You know, I've just sort of, it's not sort of, I've not just whacked 10 grand at it, if you know what I mean. It's built with love. That sounds corny, I know, but thank you for watching. I'll leave you with a couple of outdoor shots if I can get hold of any. It's going to be dark now outside. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe for many more videos. Check out the playlist at the end of this video if you want any more ideas. Please, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask me. I try to, well, I think I do reply to virtually every single person so far. And yeah, jump on Facebook, have a chat, or chat to me below in the comments of this video or the other videos, and I'll do my best to answer them. I think I've covered all the questions that I was sent, and that's the most I can think of at the moment. I don't think I've missed anything out. So any more questions, put them below and I'll try and answer. Happy days and happy sheddie pub shed building, or whatever you want to call it, pub shed garden bar. Just got to watch the old belly with these things. Anyway, cheers, thank you for watching. Till next time, like, subscribe. Bye bye.